understand how pivotal you are in making that happen in this community, and you have for so many years. So we are so blessed.
1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Spotlight. And we are, of course, live on the radio, but also on our Facebook page at 1480 WHBC. So make sure you check us out there. We would love for you to listen in. We're going to be joined right now by some folks from the Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, or Ohio APSE. And they do a lot of wonderful things, but you may not be aware of the things that they do. So I'm going to bring in right now Justin Blumhorst, who is co-president of Ohio APSE. Hello, Justin.
Hi, Pam.
All right, David Mitchell, the secretary of Ohio APSE. Hi, David.
Hi, great to be here.
Thanks for coming on. And also Jan. And Jan, you know, I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your last name because people do say it differently, but she is with APSE as well, co-president and policy liaison. Is it Doherty or Doherty?
It's Doherty.
Doherty. Okay, very good. So welcome. I'm so glad that you could take the time this morning to come on and talk to us a little bit about what you guys do. I'm going to kind of go around the room and have each of you tell us a little bit about yourself, because besides being a part of Ohio APSE, you also have other jobs as well, and that's kind of why you are. So maybe we'll start with you, David. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks. I've been with disability employment for about 10 years, and I've been with Mid-East Ohio Regional Council of Government in the Southeast Ohio for about a quarter of a century. So it's been a long time that I've been there. And I got in about 10 years ago into disability employment. And when we decided to bring on some new services in the state, we brought on an employment navigation liaison project. So each county board had a person that was a go-to and a contact for folks that wanted to seek employment. And we helped start up that project.
And also, Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, so I'm Justin Blumhorst. My day job is with Capabilities. We are a vocational rehabilitation provider where we help people with disabilities find jobs across the state. So my day-to-day job responsibilities is officially Chief Innovation Officer, but I do orientations with our staff, kind of onboard them, help them learn why disability services and employment services are so important, and how they can move towards best practices for those services too. I'm also co-president of Ohio APSE, and I've been with that about 5 years now in that setting, and that's been great. And I look forward to letting everyone know more about Ohio APSE today.
Awesome. And Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been co-president of Ohio APSE, I believe, for 7 or 8 years. I think it's like a term more than Justin. But I've been with the organization a lot longer than that in different capacities, not just as a board member, but as a person that believes in the mission and vision of APSE. I got involved in the disability community through our oldest son, who is disabled, and receives services here in Stark County through the Board of Developmental Disabilities. And on my day job, I spend my time with Summit County Board of Developmental Disabilities, working with employers on the initiative to hire people with disabilities in the community where people without disabilities work.
Okay, and so Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, that's APSE. Tell me a little bit about what APSE does. What's the mission of APSE?
So the mission is to advance employment equity for people with disabilities. And we believe everyone can and should work in the community alongside people without disabilities, not in segregated buildings, segregated workshops, places like that. We also believe that people with disabilities should receive competitive wages, just like everyone else.
Yeah, that's two things right there. That's enough to fight for sure. And is that how APSE was created, surrounding that mission and really trying to bring that to different places?
Yes, since the advent of APSE in general, I believe was in 1988, something like that, just the
That sounds right.
national organization. And then Ohio began in 1993. And different states rolled in at different times, became chapters. But the mission has never really changed over time. Everyone that joins an APSE chapter or a member of national believes in that mission and advocates for that.
Yeah, the history of APSE is really kind of interesting. It was a lot of professionals across the country. They wanted a way to connect other professionals who do the same kind of work. So they thought, well, why don't we create an agency that's founded that's supposed to connect everyone? One of the key parts of what APSE does, they do a national conference every year, and this year it's in Washington D.C. and but it's in the summer. But everyone gets together and shares best practices and talks about how to best serve people with disabilities and employment services.
And when you look at this, how much of a need do you think there has been for an organization like yours?
Well, APSE is the only national organization that solely supports employment first for people with disabilities. There's no other organization or association across the United States that focuses solely on that piece of employment and advocates, as Justin said, not just for the professionals, but also for the professionals that work directly with the individuals, helping them find employment, maintain employment in the field within their communities.
And David, what is APSE doing on a daily basis? Are there, certain things that you guys decide, okay, these are the things that we need to work on or places we need to work at?
Well, it's a great time to be in Ohio. Ohio has been an employment first state since 2012. And we had done, we had great strides before that in the employment, services field. But at that point, we really shifted our model. And APSE's been involved a lot in the field of training and training providers with CESP and also legislation. I've been tied to the training piece and the policy piece for several years now. And we've been very strong in our, enforcement of policy and how we think it should thrive.
Do you have a chance to talk to companies in different places about, how they can help or what they should be doing?
Yeah, we speak to companies. I don't get on the ground as much and talk to companies as someone like Justin would. But we do talk to companies and reach out to legislators, and we also reach out to families. And there's multiple ways we do that on legislative days, and also through training. We do have some family engagement training and some business engagement training, and it is very topical all the time with the businesses because there are a lot of misunderstandings about employment and disability employment in general, and how business can approach someone who's looking for a job.
So you become a member of APSE, is that correct?
Correct.
And how does that work for someone?
Well, I was in the field for quite a while, like I said, and a couple of folks on the board at the time approached me and asked me if I wanted to get involved because, we have some standards that we would like to follow, and we want folks to be involved and engaged. So our Ohio APSE board is very involved and engaged in all of our different areas of expertise, and we're always out talking to people about disability employment, talking about APSE, and trying to build membership. Even though we have a membership committee, we're all out in the field doing our individual work, and we're always trying to keep APSE in the forefront so we can talk about disability employment, because it permeates everywhere we are. Considering the fact that I work more with county board and provider side, Jan's more county board and Justin's more provider, but wherever we go, we're able to connect with the folks that are in the system and have that conversation.
Yeah, because I think we mentioned it's a United States, it's a U.S.
Yes.
organization. So it's
Yeah.
not just Ohio, obviously.
Right. When you become a member, I mean, it's literally a practice. It's how we practice day to day on behalf and for individuals with disabilities and their families, because we can't separate that out, and we shouldn't. But it is a national membership. I believe we're at like 2,100 nationally. In Ohio, we have 170 members, and that's made up of businesses and professionals that do the direct services in Ohio.
All right. Well, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about the benefits of membership and, of course, some other things. We've got a lot to discuss this morning about Ohio APSE, Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First. And we'll be back on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Oh, news, but I think just to be aware of what's going on.
It's more locally oriented, which I like.
Dad and I spent a lot of hours growing up listening to 1480.
You know, I think everyone should listen to
1480 WHBC.
Tune in each Saturday morning at 8 a.m. for the Money Matters radio show. Hosts Bob Foudy and David Ryan help you make your money matter. Find out how today's economy, debt levels, and policies affect your hard-earned money. You've made your money. Now it's time to watch it grow. Tune in to the hour-long Money Matters radio show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. To speak to Bob Foudy or Dave Ryan about your money matters, call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915. 330-499-1915.
Welcome to Discount Drug Mart.
Thanks.
From the look of your shopping cart, cold medicines, pain relievers, fever reducers, and cough drops. For adults and kids, you're getting ready for war.
You know it. For the past week, our house has been a revolving door of friends and family, and half of them have the sniffles. The Drug Mart pharmacist helped me stock up, so we'll be ready for anything.
Well, good luck, and stay healthy.
Discount Drug Mart saves you the runaround. You'll find everything you need.
The Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, APSE, is an organization whose mission is to advance employment equity for people with disabilities. Employment First means real jobs for real wages. Ohioans with disabilities or employers looking to support inclusive hiring practices can get involved with APSE and its initiatives by reaching out by email, ohapse@apse.org. Get connected and find the right resources. You can also check out our Facebook page, Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First. Get involved.
Identity Theft Awareness Week is here. There's a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second and will fix identity theft guaranteed or your money back. Plus, plans include the $1 million protection package with up to $3 million in coverage for the most comprehensive plan. Take control of your identity with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and
It's
Hawaii.
time now to throw out your overpriced big wireless contract. Throw it overboard with a qualifying plan of just $45 a month. You can choose a free iPhone 14 or free Samsung Galaxy. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 25 gigs of data, mobile hotspot. You get all of it. Also, they use the same 5G network. So get your free iPhone 14 or your Samsung Galaxy. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now from Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous. I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm Pam Cook with you this morning, and again, live on Facebook and YouTube, and also, of course, we're live right here on the radio on 1480 WHBC. We've been talking about the Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, and that's Ohio APSE. And we have with us this morning Justin Blumhorst, who's the co-president, David Mitchell, who's the secretary, and Jan Doherty, who is with APSE as well. She is the co-president and policy liaison. And a lot of great information that we've shared so far. And I'm, for people who have never heard of APSE, I think this is a good opportunity to explain what benefits there are to membership, and why it's important that we're there to stand strong for folks with disabilities.
Yeah, so there's a lot of benefits you get from being a member of APSE. Both you get when you sign for membership, you get a membership to Ohio APSE, and then also to our national counterpart is APSE by itself. So you get to meet professionals both in the state when you're with Ohio APSE who are doing the same work that a lot of other people are doing, or is interested in employment for people with disabilities, and then you get to meet people nationally across the board who are interested in employment services for people with disabilities too. There's also lots of committees that we get involved in. We have a policy committee that talks about what policies are going on, both federally and state-wise, that are changing, and how that affects people's jobs, and how we can best advocate for how changes of the services and how to better those along the way too. You also get access to the Journal of Vocational Rehabilitation when you sign up for APSE too. It's a great professional publication that has best practices on and kind of cutting edge developments in the field of employment people with disabilities. You also get a discount on our national conference. It works out really good. It's a 25% discount. So a lot of people sign up just for that even. It pays for itself in a lot of ways if you're planning on going to that national conference and getting connected with other professionals in the field too. So there's also webinars that are that you get from the national APSE, and we also have a monthly Learn and Connect from Ohio APSE that you get where you can get more local resources and connections too.
So if I'm a person, just so people understand, if I'm maybe a parent of a child with developmental disabilities, how can you help them? Maybe if they're having trouble, or they have questions. I mean, how would that work?
Yeah, we can really. If you want to get more information, you can reach out to us at Ohio at our email address, and we can gladly connect and get more information. That's ohapse at apse.org. And we can. But if you become a member, we can also connect you and talk you through all of the because if people are on benefits, how working might affect those benefits, and the advantages you get from getting a paycheck, and what kind of community jobs are out there, what other jobs people are working, just to find out what possibilities are out there. I'm a big believer that you don't know what's out there until you get experience and find out what is possible for you, and you can do that through finding like-minded professionals and parents and people interested in employment services, people with disabilities, by being a member of Ohio APSE.
The unique position that Ohio APSE brings to the Ohio community is that our board, we are all across Ohio, our board members, and so is our membership. So we can connect to each other when we get calls from families or individuals with questions around employment. And as Justin mentioned, how employment impacts their benefits. Yeah. And situations like that, or they're having trouble maybe connecting to their local county board of DD, or opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities. We can reach out to people across the state that are within their own communities to help assist them.
And that probably would be the same for employers. Maybe there's an employer out there who feels like they've got questions or they need some help. They could come to you as well, right?
Yes, and we have an employer on our board, so we're very diverse in our board members. So there's probably a board member that's in every piece of our disability system that works in some form or fashion. That's an expert that we can reach out to, along with our 170 members within Ohio APSE.
Yeah, the nice thing, if employers do reach out to us, we're not tied to the government exactly. So we can kind of give them, point them in directions of multiple silos of where services they get services from, and how the best practices are for those based on national trends and trends across the state too.
Has there been a lot of additional different jobs that have been offered by employers over the last few years or last 10 years even? Has it changed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we going into COVID, a lot of our county boards were to the point where when I talked about the employment navigation project, we had connections at all the county boards. It was usually an SSA who was an employment navigator who could support folks on their caseload and support other SSAs. And they had huge increases across the state in employment, and I think across the country too. The funny thing was, coming out of COVID then, there was another surge because folks were looking for work and folks were looking for people to do that work. So some of the county boards had, they experienced that great, opportunity of having several people employed. And then a lot of the employers came back to the county looking for additional staff. The counties were more looked to like, employment agencies more than they were looked to as a disabilities field service provider.
Yeah, we're also a big believer in person-centered services. That's the idea that the person is the center of the service, obviously, but they dictate how that service is derived for them. So it works out that we look at each person's preferences, what their likes and abilities are, and we place them in a job that they're going to be most successful in based on that. So each individual, it could be thousands of different jobs we're looking at. There's the services like career exploration, where we can look into what careers would be a best fit for somebody and find out and get long-term success for it. Our goal is not to place someone in a job for just a few weeks. We want someone to have a career, and we do that. You do that best through customizing to the individual and finding what job they really want and what their long-term goals are and how we connect to those.
Yeah.
There are county boards across the state, and this is probably well populated up in Northeast Ohio, who have formed what we call employment collaboratives within our regions. And the collaboratives made up of employment providers such as Justin, and also employers and people that work within the disability employment field. And they come together either monthly, bi-monthly, and the whole goal is to help employers hire people with disabilities so that they become part of their workforce and become successful at it. We're engaged with Chamber of Commerce, SHRMs, and that across the state. And so we're collaborating not just within the disability field, but across employment in general. Because what we want to create when it comes to being an employment first state, that we're not a separate employment first type of people, that we are like everyone else getting employment in the community, and to normalize that.
Yeah, and that's a big message to get out there for sure. And we are going to take a break for the news right now. And when we come back, we have some other things to, to talk about: policy creation, how you guys work towards that, and some other things as well. But stay tuned. You're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC.
JT again, and if you're like me, always looking to save money at the grocery store, did you know we've got 6 locally owned Save-A-Lots right here in Stark County? Meat, produce, dairy, everything you need, all at Save-A-Lot prices. And now you can download the Save-A-Lot app for even bigger savings, rewards, exclusive coupons, and starting soon, weekly specials that are simply amazing. The app is free, the savings are great, and there's a Save-A-Lot near you. Download it today at savealot.com. That's savealot.com.
You shouldn't have to worry about the safety of your family's water. I'm Vern Dale. For 3 generations, our family at Verndale Water Experts has been working hard to make sure your water is safe, because we are the water experts who care.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, Akron City Council has once again delayed a vote on an external police use of force audit. The audit could cost up to $768,000, and it comes after several high-profile police shootings, including the death of 15-year-old Jasmine Tucker. The vote was pushed back to Monday. However, council passed a resolution on Tucker's death that reads in part, the resolution serves as a formal acknowledgement by the Akron City Council of Jasmine Tucker's passing and the profound impact it has had on his family and our community. Although President Donald Trump has not yet fulfilled his campaign promise to dismantle the Department of Education, he says it is still on track to do it very soon. Trump says he plans on taking the education system out of the federal government's hands and putting each state in charge of its schools. In making the comments on Tuesday, he praised Tennessee lawmakers for already working on a state education bill. By doing so, Trump says education in the U.S. will rise to its most effective level in history. China made a huge investment in solar and wind power over the last year. The Chinese National Energy Administration says it built 357 gigawatts of solar and wind power in 2024. Power equivalent of 357 nuclear plants. The buildup represents a 45% increase in solar power. China produces more carbon emissions than any country on Earth, with heavy reliance on coal power. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. Going to be cloudy today with a light snow shower passing on by, and it's going to be very windy with gusts around 40 miles per hour. We're going to get to 35 degrees, turn out clear for the overnight down to 22, and then we're sunny with a few clouds tomorrow, 43. Rainy day coming up for Friday, 45. You can always get the latest weather news and forecast by downloading our free AccuWeather app. I'm meteorologist Jeff Nordine for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling today. With Crown, estimates are always free. Let them show you how much you can save when you trust the carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-499-4988 or visit them on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can help provide you with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text SOLVE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie to see if you're eligible. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text SOLVE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SOLVE to 200-300. SOLVE to 200-300.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back. It is Spotlight this Wednesday morning here on WHBC, live on Facebook and YouTube as well. So hopefully you're having a chance to check it out. If not, if you have to maybe get out of the car and go to work or whatever, you can check it out on social media at any time that is convenient for you. And a lot of great information being shared today. The Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First. That's Ohio APSE. And I have Justin, David, and Jan with me today. And we've been talking a lot about employment first, that Ohio is an employment first state. Maybe explain that for people who don't really know for sure what that means.
I think David's.
Yeah, he was muted.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're good.
I apologize. Yeah, the idea of the employment first is that everyone is presumed capable of community employment. Why that's so important is that for decades, we wanted to help people get jobs, but we didn't assume people were ready for employment. So for, up to 70 years locally, and this was good people doing good work with service delivery, trying to get folks jobs, but it was that culture shift that got us to the point to say, hey, let's presume people are capable of community employment, and then let's try to get them work in the community and get them overall connected to their community and get that work done.
And some other key pieces to the employment first philosophy is that everyone should be able to be employed if they want to be, and they should be able to work, and also that they receive fair wages, at least minimum wage or up, and also have opportunities for career advancement just like anyone else in the general workforce. Many of our individuals across the state do not have the opportunity to benefit from those benefits. And many people in the general workforce and people without disabilities are not aware of the discrepancies that are taking place, not in Ohio, but across the country when it comes to employment.
So if someone has a son or daughter that is working, but they're not getting what you guys are fighting for and believing is the minimum of what it should be, can they come to you for help, or should they be seeking other resources?
They most definitely can come to us for help, and that we're all schooled around the field of employment and around the employment first philosophy. So whether we have Justin out there working with the provider community, they're in almost every single county in the state, waiting for them to come to Stark, and David out there who works with a broad base of professionals as well in the southern part. I work with a lot of folks up here in the northeast part as well, just with APSE membership and our board. As I said, we're scattered across the state, and we all believe and subscribe to the employment first philosophy. and which leads us to a lot of our advocacy at a state and federal level. APSE in general believes in the elimination and phase out of subminimum wage for people with disabilities, also building the capacity of the employment support professionals within our field, and also for reform for SSI and SSDI. Those all play together. They're all intertwined together. And so we need to advocate for those reforms and changes to happen.
And, that's why I say it's a great time to be in Ohio, is because I feel like Ohio has always been ahead of the curve in my entire career in this field. We've always thought about what's coming next before anyone else had, even the Fed at times. We've decided we wanted a county board system, which a lot of people don't have in the country. And that's been a great asset to the local communities. When we think about the Employment First initiative itself, and we go back decades, everyone from the beginning of any type of employment for disability employment, it was a push to bring us forward and give someone the opportunity. And we're at the point now where it's time to start having that conversation about the 14C, which is the subminimum wage conversation, because we have all the safety nets in place, and we've got so many different services and that can be provided to afford someone to get connected with their community and get a job. We even have the vocational habilitation services that we've all had for years, and now we're moving into a new type of service delivery system called BEST, which is Basic Employment Service Training, which is actually designed to bolster that ability to get people connected to the community and get connected to those employers.
Ohio is very rich in the landscape of services and support. We're one of the leading states in the country. People nationally ask, Ohio is doing such a great job. I think from where the confusion lies is people, families, individuals have trouble navigating how to get to the services and supports. And so we're there to support them across the state and get them connected. Because as David shared, we have the Department of Developmental Disabilities, who have an array of services and supports. They are always evolving, making things better. There is no end for Ohio to stop evolving. And then OOD opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities who serve individuals not just within our community, the IDD, Intellectual Developmental Disabilities community, but people outside of that with disabilities, whether it's within the mental health system or other systems as well. So our goal is to get people connected so they can get meaningful work. And a lot of families and individuals fall through the cracks on their county board level because they don't know where to go. Even though we have services and support administrators that help navigate that, it's a complex system and not one person has all the answers to help anybody. So we need to rely on each other with all of our expertise.
Yeah, we really believe that we could be connectors to other people who need to learn more, because it's a hard system to wrap your head around all the services and supports that are available to people. But if you get connected with Ohio APSE, that's a great thing that we can connect you and we can kind of draw things out for you even and help paint a picture of what services can be for people with disabilities.
Yeah, and I think to me that's the key, is knowing who offers what and who can help them with certain things, because like anything, people have a certain situation and they just sit there and say, where do I turn? So I think this is a great opportunity for you guys because of all the things that you do, and even if you can't help someone, you can steer them in the right direction.
Yeah,
so that's a really important
and when
thing.
a person says, I want to get a job, that's where we need to pick it up. And that's where APSE believes that when someone says, I want to get a job, we believe them. We don't say, well, have you received enough training? Do you know enough? Our role as the employment people across the state of Ohio, whether you're an APSE member or not, is to help people from that point on to get a job, regardless of the severity of their disability. It's not up to us to make that determination, but it's up to us to work with that person, their family, their loved ones who's ever involved in their life.
And I'm sure you've seen success stories that you're proud of, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're across the state of Ohio. You can view them on our VROOD's website, our Department of Disabilities website. Justin's website for capabilities has tons of success stories. And it's invigorating for families because it really helps families. I know for me, from a family member, when I seen other families who had loved ones with significant disabilities become employed and successful, that gave me hope that that can happen for me. That can happen for my son. And those are the stories I hung on to. And I'm not saying it wasn't hard, because it is. Those two can live together. But it gives families hope that it can happen for their loved ones as well.
All right, we'll take our final break. And again, if you want to get in touch with the folks at Ohio APSE, 330-904-4355, 330-904-4355. We'll be back with Justin, David, and Jan, Ohio APSE, in just a few minutes.
This is Larry Hackenberg from the Music Time Machine. Join me and my co-host Jennifer Tassan as we explore the rich history of music throughout the years. The Music Time Machine, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday mornings at 9:30 on News Talk 1480 WHBC. To catch up on past episodes, go to WHBC.com, hit the Listen tab, and climb aboard the Music Time Machine.
The temperatures are dropping, and so are our prices on FlexSteel furniture during the FlexSteel Winter Sale. Hi, I'm Jim Casey of Casey's Furniture, inviting you to stop in our store and browse through our FlexSteel gallery. Save an extra 10% off FlexSteel stationary and reclining sofas, love seats, sectionals, and chairs. FlexSteel makes it easy to bring your personality into your home. FlexSteel offers hundreds of style options and over 1,000 of today's latest fabrics and 80 luxurious leathers to create a room for you and your family. Stop in our gallery today and see the possibilities for your home. Casey's Furniture, 7170 Porty Street, 2.8 miles west of I-77 at exit 111, the Strip exit in Jackson Township. Save an extra 10% on FlexSteel furniture at Casey's Furniture. Visit us at caseysfurniture.com. Sale ends January 30th.
Hi, welcome to Discount Drug Mart. Looks like you're getting ready to do battle with Old Man Winter.
You know it. Every winter, my first stop is Drug Mart for supplies. I've got a snow shovel, ice melt, windshield washer fluid, and de-icer, an ice scraper for each car, new hats and gloves, and some hand and toe warmers for when I'm shoveling.
And I see you're doing some grocery shopping?
Oh, that's to stock up for those cold days.
Discount Drug Mart saves you the runaround. You'll find everything you need.
The Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, APSE, is an organization whose mission is to advance employment equity for people with disabilities. Employment First means real jobs for real wages. Ohioans with disabilities or employers looking to support inclusive hiring practices can get involved with APSE and its initiatives by reaching out by email, ohapse@apse.org. Get connected and find the right resources. You can also check out our Facebook page, Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First. Get involved.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text SAVVY to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 321321. That's SAVVY to 321-321.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And the Ohio Association of People Supporting Employment First, Ohio APSE. We've been talking about all of the wonderful things they are accomplishing. And Justin, David, and Jan are here with me. And we're working hard, doing a lot of different things. And we've been talking about your policy work. That was one of the things that you were discussing just a few minutes ago. But maybe you could kind of hone in on some of the current policy initiatives that you're working on.
So in Ohio, and this is happening across the country with other states, and I believe 16 states have phased out subminimum wage within their state. In Ohio, we've been working on this for the past 3 or 4 years. We've had different iterations of bills that have died for various reasons. We currently have another draft bill in the for the 136th General Assembly. And the proposed bill in the state of Ohio aims to promote greater opportunities for individuals with disabilities by phasing out subminimum wage. So really quick, there has been a law on the books since around 1938 that people with disabilities and challenges getting into the workplace can be paid below minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour. However, like Ohio, we have a minimum wage, which is $10.70, I believe, in 2025. So individuals in Ohio can be paid below that, some made as little as 42 cents an hour for the work that they produce. And so the key objective of the bill is to ensure that all individuals with disabilities have access to at least minimum wage. And that. So the proposed legislation outlines a couple key points, and every bill in every state looks different. So each state makes it their own and what works for their communities across the state. So our bill in Ohio, and it's been sponsored by Representative Dontavius Geralds is our lead sponsor, and Representative Tom Young is the supporting sponsor. It's a bipartisan bill, which is a very good plus for the state of Ohio and other states that have passed this. But the key points that outlines in our bill is a non-refundable credit, tax credit for purchases made by persons from a qualified vendor. And when I talk about vendors, I talk about employment providers. So we use different language: vendors, employers, or providers. So you might hear those terms interchanged. It has a 5-year timeline for the current employer and provider to adopt fair wage practices, meaning those that are making well below minimum wage, they would have 5 years to transition them up into minimum wage for the work that they do. It leverages Ohio's extensive network, as we shared before, of the services and supports to help employers, the providers, to help the individuals transition if they want to go into the community and work. What's interesting in Ohio is that we have people in workshops, these facilities that are making sub-minimum wage, but they also work in the community making minimum wage. So it's a strange dichotomy. And so we just want everyone that's in those workshops, facilities, day programs, for the work that they produce, whether it's 1 hour, 10 hours, 20 hours, that they make at least minimum wage.
Right.
And then the State Department associations and disability organizations across the state are going to play a crucial role in delivering the best practice necessary to support both the provider employer and individuals throughout the process, because we do not want to leave anyone behind. And a key piece of this, that what families are concerned about and individuals, is one, they're going to lose choice. They don't want to lose the place that they go to on a daily basis and where they spend their time and friends. And that is not even a part of this bill. And we do not want that to happen at all.
Yeah.
Everyone still has the right for choice where they want to go, but they also have the right to make at least minimum wage.
Yeah, it seems like common sense, right? I mean, you think about that, and it just seems like I can't even believe that minimum wage even exists, really.
Yeah, we really believe it's a civil rights issue of people with disabilities, that they deserve to be paid at least minimum wage, just like anybody else who's a citizen, who lives in the United States. So it's something that we just that equity issue we just are really pushing for.
And to reiterate what Jan said, this is about paying minimum wage. That's what this bill is about. It's not about anything else. It's about those fair wages. And I think it's a win-win, because at this time we know how great it is to have the diversity in a workplace, and how many people were tapping into a whole nother segment of the workforce that has not traditionally been counted, in the unemployment field. So it's been a very win-win, especially for the businesses and for the folks getting the jobs.
And if people want to get involved, we have a large task force in the state of Ohio from every section of the disability communities, people that provide supports, family members, individuals, and they can contact us at Ohio APSE to be part of this movement. We meet monthly to help galvanize when the bill does come out. We can testify and coordinate all that. We also have a sign-on letter for people to sign on supporting the bill. And so we can send out that link for people, and it doesn't have to be just people with disabilities. We want the community involved. We want you involved. We want businesses involved, because we videotape businesses, interviewed businesses in the general workforce, and they are shocked when they hear this is happening in Ohio. And these are people that hire people with disabilities, and they're like, I would never do this. Even if it's available, I would never do this.
And some of the advocates with lived experience have told Jan and I think Justin's heard too, that we've heard from several different people that, being paid sub minimum wage makes them feel like they're subhuman or they're less than human.
Yeah,
and
it's offensive.
That's from these employees who now have these jobs. It's from their lips. And so it's just.
And a lot of times we hear, but they're happy with their paycheck. If it's $2, well, wouldn't they be happy if we could double and triple that?
Yeah, like any normal human being. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we are just about out of time. And the phone number is 330-904-4355. The website, if you just Google Ohio APSE, it comes right up. You get it right away. So folks can do that very simply. And all of you, Justin and David and Jan, thank you so much. A lot of great information shared. I hope some folks get out there and volunteer and become members and really help you on your mission.
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
Attention, Canton residents. Canton City Public Health's nursing service